2016, a scientist walked into his lab, and the tank was empty. Nothing was broken. Nothing was forced. But something wasn't right. This wasn't an accident. It had been watching. For weeks, it stayed still, watching everything. It memorized patterns, movements, timing. And one night, it made its move. Its body compressed through a gap no larger than a coin. By morning, it was gone. Scientists were stunned. This wasn't instinct. Octopuses have over 500 million neurons. But 2/3 of them are in its arms. Each arm can solve problems on its own. In New Zealand, another octopus escaped the same way. It slipped into a drain and vanished into the ocean. Are they just intelligent or something more? Their intelligence evolved, completely separate from ours. In controlled experiments, something even stranger happened. It didn't try randomly. It copied what it saw. That isn't instinct. That's learning. And that's what unsettled researchers most. Octopuses evolved separately from mammals. Yet they developed intelligence on their own path. A mind built differently. Maybe we underestimated them. There's something in the ocean that doesn't want to be seen. And when it finally moves, it's already too late. Octopuses don't just hide, they rewrite reality. In less than a second, they can become invisible. Here's the part that shouldn't be possible. An octopus has no bones, which means if its beak fits through a hole, its entire body can follow. But flexibility isn't the scariest part. It can solve problems. Scientists have watched octopuses open sealed jars from the inside. And when it decides to strike, it doesn't hesitate. In less than a blink, it's over. This is what scares scientists. It doesn't react, it waits. This punch moves faster than a bullet, and it hits with the force of a gunshot. But the real damage comes from the bubble. The collapse alone can shatter shells. It doesn't see the world like we do. It sees colors we can't even imagine. And then, there are giants that never forget. An elephant doesn't just remember, it remembers for decades. They can recognize a face after years apart. And when one of them dies, they don't walk away. They return. Every herd has a leader, usually the oldest female. She remembers where water once existed, even after years of drought. In the wild, memory is survival. But memory doesn't just keep them alive, it keeps them together. Knowledge isn't instinct, it's taught. When one struggles, the others adjust. In controlled tests, elephants recognize themselves. Disputes don't last long. Order is restored. They remember the living, and they remember the lost. Because in their world, memory isn't just survival, it's legacy. This bird doesn't just survive, it studies. It uses tools on purpose. And when it knows it's being watched, it changes the plan. The crow doesn't guess, it calculates. It chooses the right tool on the first try. When no tool exists, it makes one. And if someone is watching, it pretends. It notices betrayal. And it doesn't forget. It warns the others. It remembers faces. And it shares the memory. When the food is out of reach, the crow doesn't panic. It changes the physics of the problem. It watches others fail and learns without making the same mistake. Observation becomes strategy. Strategy becomes success. There is something unsettling about its eyes, like it's measuring you back. It uses traffic like a tool, waiting for machines to do the hard work. Not random placement, perfect timing, perfect positioning. It understands patterns. It waits for opportunity. This isn't just survival. It's calculated adaptation. In a world built by humans, it didn't just survive. It learned the system. It solves problems, and others learn by watching. It communicates information, not just noise. It remembers, it plans, it teaches. And the most disturbing part, it might understand us better than we understand it. If the crow mastered strategy, the ocean built something even more precise. They don't hunt alone. They hunt as a unit. They don't rush. They plan the strike before the seal even knows. They create a wave strong enough to knock the seal into the water. This isn't instinct. It's coordinated execution. The young don't just watch. They are being trained. Different oceans, different techniques, different cultures. Orcas in different regions hunt differently, speak differently. They don't just make sounds, they use dialects. They follow leaders, they pass down knowledge. This isn't just a predator, it's a society. From hidden intelligence, to emotional memory, to collective strategy. Nature-built minds we are only beginning to understand. Different bodies, different worlds. But the same question remains. If this is what we can see, what are we still missing? In the next episode, we're going deeper.